I'm filming everything. There she is. We'll do our thumbnail right now while we're both standing. This is a lovely lady I'm just getting to meet from originally Uruguay.
Uruguay, you're right. Yes,
And
absolutely. Montevideo.
Montevideo.
But I wasn't I was born in Montevideo, but I was living in Punta del Este.
I get you a coffee?
No, I'm fine.
You okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I was born in Montevideo, which is the capital city.
Okay.
But I moved to Punta del Este, which is a very luxurious resort in the coast of Uruguay where the rich and famous come and live. So I got the opportunity to meet lots of those people. Like,
How did that happen? Or why did you go to this place?
because my parents used to build houses, and they ended up building houses there. And it was the place where we used to go when we were kids, and then it became very popular and very like exclusive, and it was an amazing opportunity to learn business there. Imagine.
I can only imagine. So you began to meet people growing up? Was this when you were
yes.
in the early years?
Yes, very early.
So your
Yes.
mom and dad were owners of a construction company?
No,
or?
my parents were very humble people.
Okay.
My mother never finished school.
Wow.
My father finished university. He's an accountant.
Oh,
And they started this small business of building houses.
okay.
So they started very small in another place, not in Punta del Este, but the dream of my mother was to get there. So,
To this special place.
yes,
How do you spell it again?
Punta,
P-U-N-T-A?
yes,
Punta
del
del
Este,
Este.
which means the point of the east.
The point of the east.
So it's the most east point of Uruguay.
And even to this day, it's a place for the rich and famous.
Yes.
From just Uruguay or coming
No,
from
they
all
come
over the
from
world?
all over the world. I wasn't born. The one visionary, that's the only way that I can call him, he decided to do a film festival there, like the Cannes Film Festival, where all the, like, Humphrey Bogart was there, all these celebrities came there. And one of the most interesting parts about my mom especially, she loved antiques. So she went to auctions, and she will go to an auction and she will auction a piece of furniture that people wouldn't want because it was like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 meters high.
Okay,
For
big.
these old houses, imagine.
Yeah.
But she will see that from that piece she could take like 4 or 5 different pieces. A mantle for, a fireplace, and then she will do a small urn, and she will do another, like, she will take the counter and she will use it for a bathroom countertop. So she had that creativity and that vision, and it was unbelievable because people started to fall in love with those houses. She was like a staple. People will come after, rich and famous will come and say, I want a house of Eva. That's the name of my mom. Auctions here, but that people were very, so this is the story of Uruguay that nobody knows. Uruguay was built by Europeans. When the Italians and Spanish, they conquer Uruguay with one little difference from the other countries. It was a very small country, and what they did, it's the only country that happened, they annihilate all the natives.
Killed them.
Totally, there is no
Wiped them
one
out.
native in Uruguay.
Everyone today is a European ancestor.
Everyone,
No original indigenous.
zero.
But this is never in the news?
No.
Not
No.
talked about. What's Mariana's most important memory of growing up in Uruguay? Something that was left its mark on you, was very good, and something that maybe was not so good.
So one of the things that I loved very much was we were very free as kids. We were out, we were by the beach, we were like, being all day there, having friends, very social. Parents are together, the kids are together, you can run in the street. That was unbelievable.
Free, no worries, someone was kidnapping, causing
Nothing.
trouble, open and free.
Yes. And it's still today in this area that I'm talking about. Montevideo has different areas.
Okay.
It became a little bit more dangerous than that, but this place in the summer is like
Magical.
heaven.
Spectacular. What didn't you like about growing up in Uruguay?
What I didn't like was I grew up when there was a military government.
Oh, okay.
So that was a hard time because, you know, there were lots of things that you couldn't do and you were afraid of things, like lots of people missing and lots of things you couldn't talk about. And that created a sense of like, all the time they would say, never trust anybody, don't talk to anybody, you never know who they are, you never know if they are part of the military government and you will get the family in trouble. So that is a fear that I see Uruguayans kept until today. They couldn't get out of that fear mentality.
Today, it's different.
Oh, absolutely. Today is a democracy.
When did it change?
In 1984.
And how did that come about? The military rule was put down by the people?
It was like a negotiation after so many years. They were in the power for 13 years.
13,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
With this kind of heavy-handed
Yes, very
fear,
heavy. Yes.
Control,
You couldn't
all
leave
the
your
wrong
house.
things about
Yes.
life.
You couldn't leave your house without your ID. If they will catch you, you will go missing. And missing
So
means
you were more or less born into that and lived the majority of your life.
yes. Yes.
And then, why did you want to leave? And when did you leave Uruguay? And did you come first to Canada or did you go to other places?
No, I came here. So honestly, it depends where you were born in Uruguay. I was born in a middle class society home, and like my parents didn't have nothing, but you know, at that time, not having nothing was having education, having a roof under your on your top of your head. So it was a nice middle class lifestyle.
Good.
So I was raised there. I never thought that I would leave. You know, I didn't. It's a quiet country. We don't have storms. We don't have wars. We don't have. It's a nice country, full of opportunities. You know, it was a place where, if you work, you could get there. You could, you know, change your life. But slowly it became harder and harder. And after the military government, imagine all the people who were like thought leaders and that they were wiped. So
Creativity was out the window.
Yes.
There was no, if you were entrepreneurial, if you had to play their game, there's one way of doing things,
Yes.
and you will take and accept whatever is left over,
yes,
period.
Yes.
So
yes.
this isn't life, this is some form of prison.
But you didn't know, because when you were born into that, you think it's normal. So people were okay with that. They were
Exactly.
like, yeah, accepting, and you know.
What can we do?
No, and then you know when that finished and there were opportunities again, and at that time I studied university. I didn't.
What did you study?
I never finished. I started to study architecture because you know of the family.
The family
I thought,
business.
yes. I wanted to be independent. Very like I was desperate. So one of the things that I saw in this thing, it was that in real estate, you make money and you make money in dollars because those properties sell in dollars, American dollars. So I said, I'll go there and I work in real estate.
In Uruguay,
Yes, in Punta del Este.
in this special place.
Yes.
Okay.
So I started to go there, and imagine I was maybe 19,
Okay.
you know, 1 year university, 20 maybe.
And a little rebellious.
Yes, and I lived there, and imagine I started to work, and in no time, and I'm talking a few years back because I'm 55 now, I was making between $5,000 to $10,000 a month. So it
Which
was
there was 10 times maybe here? I mean, a ridiculous
my
amount of money.
friends, imagine, my friends were, they finished chemistry or they were making 500. And I was making that because that's what I saw. Real estate gives you money if you are good, if you're persistent, if you, and I get to know the who, and I get connected with these people because I met the kids already in these parties that we will go out and you get introduced by everybody. So it was
Were you
supernatural.
wise handling of all this wealth? You enjoyed it.
Well, that
You made-
that's a thing, you know, and that's something that I think they don't teach you in school. I don't think here, and I don't think there they teach you.
I think you're right.
One thing is to make money.
Yeah.
Another thing is to manage and invest money.
Yes.
And another thing is to plan for the long run.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the things that I don't see happening, and that's why I'm mentoring now because I want to teach people not to.
Meeting like, I mean, this is
It
a
was
love story. It
amazing,
could be a
yes.
movie.
I have a book. I wrote a book.
What's it called?
It's called Say Yes,
Say
Ask
Yes.
Questions Later.
Ask Questions Later. It's on Amazon?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
We'll put it in the
Okay.
YouTube. Say yes, ask questions later.
That's my life philosophy. So I said yes. He said,
I love
come.
it.
I said yes.
What a great philosophy.
And you know, then you ask lots of questions and then you decide.
I'm going to give Mariana just a moment for her voice and all, because she's been talking wonderfully and telling her story. But what she just said is reminding me of things. You know, I try to encourage people that are willing and interested to listen when they want to be inspired with a little bit of truth. And the little bit of truth is this: you can be shy, you can be an introvert, but you cannot expect things good to happen in your life if you don't make some kind of effort. I think I've lived very similar to what Marianne is saying. Often I didn't know how to do what somebody asked me to do for them, in business especially. But I said, okay. And then I learned as quickly as I could, and I usually figured out there was a way to do it, because not much of what we do in life is rocket science. So if it sounds good or interesting, life is short, why not just say yes and then ask the questions later? I like it. Do you like it? You can leave a comment in the space below that maybe will help somebody else get off their butt and say yes. Just think, she found love and much more. Now, Vicky works another place here. She just subscribed and she gets to be part of my channel and this video.
Yeah.
And so now you have to watch it. Okay, eat your food.